Hi, do you ever feel lost? And if so, then watch this video because I'm going to completely turn this around and then tell you how to find yourself. If you're feeling lost, then what's happening is that a feeling that was inside of your body is coming to the surface. And at that moment, you feel it. And you feel it because it's about to leave your body. So if you want to find yourself, you need to really feel what it means to feel lost. Sometimes things can be very, very simple. You know, up until like 10 years ago, life was different than to what it is now. In the past, people planned their lives, maybe from the beginning all the way to the end, with career, marriages. And in that planning of that timeline, they felt safe because they identified themselves to be at that moment in the timeline. But they were always on their way to reach something. And I think that the biggest thing that has changed is that that no longer seems possible. Maybe for a few it still seems possible. And that means that you're no longer stuck in a timeline. And then you arrive at the only moment that has ever been there, the here and the now. And if you want to find yourself, if you want to unloose yourself, you can't find yourself in that timeline that felt comfortable because you're only always in this moment in the here and now. So you have found yourself. Congratulations. And the feeling that you are lost is probably very old and it needs to leave your body. And you can do that by helping it, by feeling it fully. And the same counts for all the other difficult feelings that people are having, maybe loneliness. You know, if you're not with yourself in this very moment, when you're stuck on that timeline, then of course you feel lonely because you don't have any contact with yourself. And when you're stuck in that timeline, you also have experienced a lot of fear for the future, of possible things that could happen while you move towards that point. But if you completely arrive in the here and now, then you'll notice that that is no longer possible. You can't be afraid of possible doom scenarios in the future. It's just impossible in the here and now. So the fear that you're feeling also needs to leave your body because it was related to the timeline. And all the other emotions that are also coming to the surface now, because if you have found yourself, that's what's actually going on here, in the here and now, then all these emotions come to the surface because you're safe. You have finally arrived. You're no longer this two-dimensional character moving that way. You're in this moment, in the here and now, the only moment that has ever existed. The timeline was merely an illusion. So if you, for example, did things in order to achieve something on that timeline that was not in your best interest, or maybe you were forced to do it, you developed anger. And when you suppress that anger, it becomes very uncomfortable to live in your body and you need that timeline. But that's no longer possible. The timeline was merely a distraction to reach for something that was the opposite of how you feel internally. And now, that world is gone. Congratulations, you have arrived. This is the moment. This is you. This is the here and now. But can you bear it? And you don't have to bear it all at once. You can maybe bear it for 10 minutes and then distract yourself with a nice book, something that is not stress related. Come back to it later and practice being present with yourself. Because it's not easy to be present with yourself when your body has stored all of these emotions. Fear, shame, guilt, grief, all of it stuck in a timeline. And I think that this will lead to the liberation of our kind. Because when you're stuck in a timeline, you can become a slave. But when you're in the here and now, you're free. Congratulations, you have arrived.